All right, what's up? So in this video, we're going to talk about how you can make 5 to 10K per month online by doing remote sales. And in this training, we're going to break down the following. What really is the best business model and why most people have been lying to your face over the past couple of years, the current problems with the industry, what is your ideal client, how to find them, and then how to start doing the work. And then I'll also talk about, if you're looking for help, some options there. So this video, I'll be 100% honest with you. It's not going to contain any edits, any flashy thumbnails. I'm sure you guys know that by now. This video is designed to be pure value. And to be honest with you, if you can't sit and watch more of like a boring style video that actually helps and actually gives you value instead of these bullshit clickbait videos because you have a TikTok brain, then the advice I give you in this video is irrelevant because you won't even be able to apply it because you're not the type of person that will be successful. And so if you're watching this video and you can't go through more of like a boring styled video, it's probably best if you just click off now and you go experience a little bit more pain in your life and then come back when you're ready. So with that being said, I want to preface why I'm creating this video. And the main reason why is because everything that I'm going to be talking about, I personally have gone through on my own. And so this was me during the peak of COVID in 2021. I was attending college as an 18-year-old freshman. You can like see this here. And this was like my college dorm. Literally looked like a prison cell. And I had like a couple hundred, maybe a little over $1,000 to my name. No idea what major I wanted to do. No business acumen. And the point that I got to is during the peak of COVID, I had a little bit of free time and I started scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, etc. And I started seeing people left, right, and center making 10K per month or more online. And they were either my age or younger. And to be honest with you, it pissed me off as a competitive person. And so I began looking into ways to make money online, but it became very daunting to me with how many videos are out there of multiple different business models that you can try, right? There's videos on TikTok where you'll see some guy telling you to do this business model. And then you'll go to YouTube and you'll see somebody telling you to do this business model. And so what I did is I began researching these models and I tried a few. I tried a little bit of drop shipping. I tried affiliate marketing. I tried SMMA and a couple others. But I didn't want to have to create products. I didn't want to post multiple times a day on social media. And I definitely didn't want to learn how to run paid ads. And then it hit me and I had a dark realization. And this was game changer for me. And hopefully you can have this realization if you haven't already. I realized that despite what everyone was saying, they were actually all running the same business model, right? So I'd see somebody on TikTok saying, hey, go do drop shipping. It's the best way to make money online. I'd see somebody on Instagram saying, go do affiliate marketing, blah, 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 all this stuff. I actually realized that all of these people are actually selling some sort of online course and some sort of online coaching program. And that I should listen to what they're doing, not what they're saying. And so this realization ultimately led me down the path of realizing that everybody's actually all running the same business model and that the best business model is not to listen to what they say about drop shipping, affiliate marketing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's actually the best business model is to build an audience on social media and monetize that audience with some sort of digital product like an online course or coaching program. That is what everybody is doing, and there's a reason why they're doing it. Now, here's the issue though. There's just one problem with this. In order to do this, you need to be an expert in a subject, right? Like if you're an expert in fitness, you could go out, start creating content on social media and start monetizing your brand. If you have an expertise in making money online, then you can go do this. But the problem is, if you're anything like me when I was first getting started, I wasn't an expert in anything yet. I was really just an ordinary person. I lived an average life, average kid in college, whatever. And so the most logical step that I realized is to not listen to these people saying, oh, go try all these different business models. The most logical step is to go in and work with somebody that runs a business like this. They have a business, they're creating content on social media, they have a great product, and you go in and help them sell more. And so by doing this, you can help them, you can see the ins and outs of their business, and you can pretty much essentially prime yourself and get yourself ready for when you end up starting your own business when the time is right. So that's kind of the step-by-step process. And that's exactly what I did. So The first thing that I kind of sunk my teeth into was remote sales. I landed my first role relatively quickly. I would market and sell their products. First month was like $400. Second month was like $3,700. And then it started picking up pretty quickly from there. And about 8 months in, after refining my expertise, after landing a couple clients, and like improving the offers that I was working in, I hit my first 10K per month. And then I leapfrogged off of this with the capital, the skills, and the knowledge that I had to start a coaching business with my business partner that I now run, which I have a large stake in, that does between 500 to 600K per year. And you can see that here in some of the screenshots of us doing over $110,000 in less than 2 months, 105K in less than 2 months. And I've been able to travel and all that fun stuff that you see online anyways. But with that being said, I don't want to make this video super long. So the skill that I recommend all beginners to attack is remote sales, because every business sells. If nothing is being sold in the world, there is no such thing as an economy, and there is no such thing as society, right? So sales is the backbone of the world that we've created. And so by you learning skills, you're learning something that has been around forever. You're not learning one of these dorky business models that has been created in 2018. It started trending and now nobody does it, right? Sales, you're actually learning a fundamental skill set that you can use for the rest of your life. The skill is the most in-demand skill in the world. I could work wherever I wanted. So I actually, in here, this is me working in the Canary Islands for a month. This is me working in Mexico with a couple clients for a month. Literally, we'd wake up inside of the same Airbnb and we just take sales calls all day. It was a pretty fun experience. And like, more importantly, it's something so simple that a beginner can actually do it, right? And when I talk about sales, I want to be honest with you guys. I'm not talking about the type that you might be thinking of. You see, if you have never heard of sales before or like looked extensively into it, the sales that you might be thinking of is selling cheap shit, shitty products, shoving them down people's throats and forcing them to buy, almost like the Wolf of Wall Street style. But that could be further from the truth, or that couldn't be further from the truth. The kind of selling that we do when you do this right is where you have people that are already interested in the solution that you're selling. So they already want help. They're already interested. And you sell an amazing solution, not some shitty product. You sell a great program and a great offer. And then you end up selling them and they actually buy and thank you for selling them, because the product actually helps them, right? And the kind of selling is where we also get big commissions, where we make $500 or more per commission, not selling some $20 cheap piece of crap, right? Like I said earlier, the online education business is growing very, very quickly. You can see that here. And the long-term vision, again, is to acquire these skill sets of sales so you can make money now and then be able to translate those skills into starting your own business in the long term. On top of that as well, this is the biggest issue. So not only are you learning a great skill, but this is also the biggest issue currently that the online education business industry faces, because it's a fairly new industry. So there's people that aren't very advanced at some of these skill sets, and there's more and more of these people coming out of the woodworks starting online education businesses, and they suck at some of the stuff that I'm going to show you guys how to do. So most education businesses do a terrible job converting attention into sales calls, which is what we call appointment setting. And they also do a terrible job converting these sales appointments into sales, which is called being a remote closer, right? So most businesses, they do a terrible job of this piece right here, bridging attention into sales appointments. And then they also do a terrible job taking sales appointments and turning them into closed deals. And so most people, when they get started on their remote sales journey, they start off by being an appointment setter first, because it's easier to learn, but it also usually pays you slightly less. So you can start off with this, more of like an entry-level skill, and then you can advance to being a remote closer later on, after you've maybe done appointment setting for a couple months, you've made some money, and you're ready for more. And lastly here, before we dive into the actual know-how on how you can actually get started on something like this, the last advantage of doing remote sales is the fact that you get paid on commission. So you're not going to be getting paid a salary like you would at a traditional job. You get paid on commission, which means you get paid what you kill, which is it's the ultimate secret to making money online, right? It means if you're good, you get rewarded and you get paid handsomely. And if you're shit, you get paid shitty money, right? So with commission, you get paid a lot of money if you're really good. And this is awesome because this is where you can get to 10, 15, 20, or even further than that per month. But if you're bad, well, then you just use that as a way to get better every single day, right? And this is ideally what you want. You get rewarded for being good. You don't get that usually, or not to the same degree, in a 9-to-5 job. There's a lot of people that I know that work very hard in their 9-to-5 jobs, but they don't get paid what they deserve. And on the flip side, there's a lot of lazy people out there that work 9-to-5 jobs that get the same amount of income that most of those people that work hard get, right? And so this will allow you to kind of break out of that cycle, which is actually what you want. So it allows you to start off and make building your skill sets the main priority, which is what you should be doing anyways. And because of that, you build your own skill sets, you become more valuable to the marketplace, and you get compensated proportionally when you become more valuable, right? Most appointment setters, they usually make income in the ranges of 2 to 7K per month. You can go a little higher than this depending on the offer that you're working in, but 2 to 7K is a pretty typical range for an appointment setter. And then remote closers, you usually get paid on the low end 4K per month, maybe if you're not the best and you're still working on getting better. And on the high end, you can get paid close to 20K per month, or maybe even more than that in certain instances. Now, one thing I want to say before we talk about getting your client again, you might be a little bit scared because you're like, well, Trevor, this may or may not be you, but for me, like, this was the case. I was a little bit nervous to start remote sales because I'm a little bit more introverted myself. I don't talk a lot. I had a ton of social anxiety when I was first getting started. It's not so much the case now, but I want to tell you, like, if you're introverted and you're worried that this won't be for you, I was introverted myself and I was able to cover and get better at this. And it's actually something that you should focus on getting better anyways, because you don't want to have social anxiety. So it's like, not only can you use this as a way to make money online, but you can break that social anxiety that you've had to become somebody that can talk and actually interact with humans in an appropriate way, right? Now, let's talk about what an ideal client looks like. So I want to talk about why this is important. The offer that you're a remote, the offer that you work for when you do remote sales, whether this is appointment setting or remote closing, is just as important as your actual skill. Nobody seems to want to talk about this. They just focus on the skill piece, but the offer that you're working in is just as important. Because I want you to imagine for a second, let's just say you're getting paid 10% commission, which 5 to 10% is usually pretty average, on a $200 offer, right? So that means you sell this $200 program, and for every sale, you get paid $20 in commission, right? Now, what if you were also doing this? You're getting paid 10% commission on a $5,000 package, where you would be getting paid $500 in commission every single sale you get. Well, in general, it would take you the same amount of work to sell each, but one would make you $20 and one would make you $500 per sale, right? So one of them is literally 25 times more efficient. So with that being said, we now understand the importance. It's not just about how good you are at sales. It's also what offer that you're pushing. Now let's talk about what do we look for in an offer to get a good client, right? So the first thing that you need is you need a great entrepreneur with a great vision. So you need somebody that has goals, and they're very ambitious, and they're very serious about scaling this in the long term. You don't want to work with somebody that's like more of like a solopreneur, or they just started their business and they just want to make like 10K per month. They should be doing the sales themselves at that stage. You want to be working with somebody who has a great vision. They want to make 100K per month, $1 million a month, something like that. And they want to go big in this game. They don't want to play this game small. You also want to work with somebody that has lots of proof of concept. So they have a good personal brand and they have good student results inside of their program, right? Not only do you want to push an offer that's expensive, but you actually want to push an offer that actually gets people good results, because your reputation as a company will actually work in your favor as a salesperson. You want to work with somebody that's getting good lead volume. So somebody that's at the very least getting 20 leads a day. If you're getting 20 leads a day, you can make full-time income off of this if you're good enough. This is strictly for appointment setting. I'd say for sales, or for remote closing, this should be between 3 to 4 scheduled appointments per day, right? So one of these two, depending on if you're doing appointment setting or remote closing. Most people start with appointment setting, so your target should be 20 a day. But if you're doing remote closing, you should want to work with a company that brings or is scheduling about 3 to 4 appointments per day for you to take, right? And then we also want to work with, again, a high ticket offer, at the very least $2,000 or more. And the way that you can find these people is when you're actually scouting people and looking for these kind of people with these kind of characteristics, you can actually look in their link in bio on social media or on Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever. You look in the link in their bio, and if you get directed to some sort of application where you apply for something or you apply for a call, that's a good sign. You actually don't want to get directed to something where they're selling like a $20 program or a $99 program or something like that. So you want to look for an application, not a purchase, right? So if they have an application, that's usually a pretty good indicator that they're selling something $2,000 or more. And then lastly, you want to work in a niche that you're interested in. So if for some reason you hate the concept of day trading, you don't want to work with a program that teaches people how to make money online with day trading, because even if you were incredible at sales, you would absolutely hate the job, right? So pick a niche that you're actually kind of interested in working in and pushing. With that being said, even with all of these qualifications in place, there are tens of thousands of these offers out there. And this creates an opportunity for you to be able to go out, reach out to these people, have conversations, and land clients, right? So understanding this, let's talk about how you can find your role. So Facebook, Instagram, and X usually are the three that work the best. X is Twitter for all of you guys that don't know. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter all work best. The personal, and maybe I have a slight bias on this, but personally, I've been able to see Instagram as the best because you can usually vet people a lot easier. So when you're looking for a good offer like this, you can look at these qualifications and you can generalize it easier on Instagram based on people's link in bio, based on how many followers they're getting a day, based on their story highlights, based on the niche, based on a great entrepreneur with a great vision. Like, you can kind of check these boxes a lot easier to make sure that the person that you're working with is good. And this just makes it so that it takes less time to qualify somebody, and it allows you to send more outreach. And then the approach that we're going to be using to land clients is the personalized Loom video approach. So I don't see too many people doing this, which is why their outreach never really works. So we want a yes, then we want to send a personalized Loom, then we want to jump on an interview, and then we want to land them as a client. That's the approach. Most people, they try to go for a yes straight into like a sales call and then a client, but they skip this personalized Loom piece, which is pretty awesome when you get it in check, right? So when you're doing your outreach, the first message usually can be something along the lines of this. Do not copy this directly, guys, because there are going to be lots of people that watch this video and actually go out and try some of this stuff. So do not copy this verbatim. You want to stand out from everybody else, so change it up a little bit. The biggest thing here is including this personalization piece. So for instance, when you actually find somebody to reach out to, then you're going to go in and, you're going to say something like, hey, John, I've been watching your YouTube videos and I just checked out your recent one talking about blah, 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 blah. And I really like that you talked about this. I'm not sure if you need it, but if you have room on your team for a setter/closer, I would love to send a personalized video introduction. I work for $0 up front, only straight commission. And so basically, when you're just getting started, your goal should be to send outreach every single day until you land your first client. Once you land your first client, the game is pretty secure, and you can focus on building your skill sets and making money. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but in most cases, once you land your first client, you can kind of take it from there and you can take over from there, assuming that all of these boxes are checked. The issue, though, is if you let some of this stuff slip, then it can screw it up. So you're going to use this message. You're going to send it out to 20 to 50 people a day, or maybe even more. you're going to then be getting a handful of people saying, yes, I would love for you to send me a personalized Loom video intro, in which you send that out to people. And then a percentage of those people are going to be like, yeah, I would love to jump on an interview with you. You guys get on the interview, and it's not a job interview, right? So don't get this twisted. When you do a corporate job interview, those people ask you questions most times to qualify you and to make sure that you can kind of work in their company. You're going to be doing the same thing. You're actually going to qualify them to make sure that all of these boxes are checked. And if they aren't, you go and you don't accept the client unless you really need money or something, right? So you should be looking for the best of the best clients. And so you can use this to ask questions like that. You can also ask, how many setters or closers they have on their team right now, how many sales are they getting per day, things like that, to get a full grasp on their business to see for sure if it would even make sense for you to work with them. And then once you do this enough times, over time, you're going to land your first client, which then you start doing the work. And this is the fun part, because this is where you can start to actually make money online, go through this grind phase here where you're not making that much, but you're getting your skills better, and then kind of progress over time, get better, get your skills better, potentially help the business also with other parts of their business and get paid even more, potentially also get paid on salary. There's a lot of fun stuff that you can do here. So with that being said, I do want to let you guys know that I actually created this video because I thought it would be really helpful. And I think with just this video alone, you guys can take the stuff that I talked about here and you can go out and implement it and get some results on your own. Now, with that being said, if you're like, Trevor, this is awesome, thank you so much for this video, I would love for you to come in and help me on a one-on-one basis. I actually do offer that. So I do have a program where you can actually come in and work with me on a one-on-one level, where I will actually build out majority of this stuff for you. I'll show you, I'll teach you more about the industry, obviously, but I'll also show you what should you send in your outreach? Who should you be looking for in terms of an ideal client? What do you say in your personalized Loom video? What do you say in your interview? Now, once you've landed a client, how do you negotiate with them to get a percentage? What do you do in terms of actually doing the work? How do I get better at sales so I can make more money inside of the company? All that fun stuff. And then also the cream of the crop. Once you get to the point where you're making money with high ticket sales, then how do you actually translate those skills into starting your own business? I cover that all if you decide to work with me one-on-one. So you will actually see a link in the description if you're interested in just learning a little bit more about that. You and I can have a quick conversation to see if it would be a good fit based on where you're at. And then if it makes sense, I can help you out and we can get things going. If not, just keep watching the YouTube stuff. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a subscribe if it was helpful. But other than that, you guys take care and have a fantastic rest of your day.